Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Routledge History of Literature in English, part 37. So let's dive in the world of literature. Today we will be starting from the writer Thomas Carlyle, translator of the German national poet Goethe and historian of the French Revolution in the 1840s. Carlyle became occupied with the condition of England question, anticipating in many of his ideas and social novels of Gaskell, Dickens and others. His views on strong leadership on heroes, hero worship and the heroic in history 1841 have been criticized for their apparent support of dictatorship, but they are more relevant to the coming manifestation of the anti-hero in late Victorian and more modern writing. Past and Present, written in 2 months in 1843, expresses Carlyle's anger and compassion at the statistics which announced that there were 1,429,089 paupers in England and Wales. The novelist George Eliot described Carlyle's influence in glowing terms. There is hardly a superior or active mind of this generation that has not been modified by Carlyle's writings, said by George Eliot. Carlyle was considerably influenced by German thought, especially by David Friedrich Strauss's Life of Jesus, which she translated in 1846, and Ludwig Feuerbach's Essence of Christianity, which she translated in 1854. The leading non-fictional historian of the age was Thomas Babington Macaulay, whose essays, critical and historical, in 1834 reached a wide audience. His History of England, published in 4 volumes between 1849 and 1855, can now be seen to reflect Victorian attitudes and complacency. Now comes Karl Marx, probably the most famous and influential work of its kind written in England was Das Kapital by Karl Marx, published in 1867. Das Kapital, in effect a theory of political economy, is a negative critique of the capitalist system which concentrates wealth in the hands of fewer and fewer people at the expense of the laboring class. Marx, with Friedrich Engels, had made a close study of Britain's industrial system and its effect. Engels' study, The Condition of the Working Class in England in 1845, which was researched in Manchester, praises Carlyle's awareness of workers' conditions and anticipates the kind of situation which Elizabeth Gaskell was to describe 3 years later in Mary Barton. Marxism is a social and materialist philosophy contrasting with more religious and spiritual views of the world. After the Catholic Emancipation Act of 1829, there was a movement towards the Catholic Church on the part of some members of the Anglican faith. The Oxford movement, as it was known, was a small but significant eddy in the tide of Victorian faith. The theme, however, remains of interest in the novels of Barbara Pym, but now the subject is treated as delicate social comedy rather than as the serious issue it was in the 1840s. John Henry Newman, also known as Cardinal Newman as he became in 1879, was the leading figure of the Oxford movement, the author of an important autobiography, Apologia Pro Vita Sua in 1864, of novels including Loss and Gain in 1848, which portray the intellectual and religious life of Oxford at the time, and of the visionary poem The Dream of Gerontius in 1865. If you have any doubts or query, you can ask me in the comment section below, or you can even message me in the social media IDs that are given below in the description box. Do share the video to all those who wants to be the part of this literary journey. So that's all for today's video. Thank you and signing out.